Talk with the GO MRI man. Spread the knowledge. Motivate the people.
What's up, it's MRI man coming back to you once again. Today I have my friend on here, Jason Hernandez. He has a website called Xraytech.com. He also has a YouTube channel and Instagram. I'm going to let him introduce himself and I'll pass it to him.
Hey, how's it going, MRI man? Thanks for inviting me over. This is awesome. Been looking forward to working with you. So my name is Jason Hernandez. I'm the creator of Your X-Ray Tech. I have a website, yourxraytech.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Pretty much just like to provide information about the field of radiology, right? So radiology includes everything from X-ray to MRI to CT, mammography, all that. So, thanks for having me, and, whatever I could help.
Yeah, let's get into it. So let's start off with the YouTube channel. Hold on. Just tell us about that. Like, when did you start it? How long have you been doing videos? Why did you start it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, YouTube, I knew I could put some content out there and be able to reach, patients or students or anybody interested in the field. But I still don't even consider myself like an expert in YouTube. So I just kind of do what I can with it. I'm learning as I go. I believe one of the first videos I uploaded, I wanted to demonstrate more or less, the setup of an X-ray room. So I believe I demonstrate, the X-ray tube, the radiographic table, the console, and how to use technical factors. So yeah, that was one of my videos. I probably uploaded that maybe 5 years ago. And since then, I kind of said, let me try to be a little bit more consistent. Let me try to upload some variety of things. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of messing with it since then.
Awesome. That's cool. And I see that you've done some interviews. Looks like you did, what is this, like a dermatologist you had right here?
Yeah, so that was Rachel Ward. She is a radiation therapy tech.
Okay.
And she specializes in superficial radiation therapy, which is kind of like new. So she actually operates machinery that you could actually like have in a small room, which is crazy because radiation therapy usually requires a large room. It's a large equipment. It's this whole thing. But she's able to treat skin cancers in a small office. So she works with a dermatologist, and she gave me a lot of information. She's awesome, and she's from California.
Cool. Yeah. That looks interesting.
Great award.
Yeah. So you're from Houston. No, sorry. So yeah, you're from Texas. What part of Texas are you from? And did you grow up there? Were you born there?
Yeah, so I'm from Texas. We're considered South Texas. So the Rio Grande Valley, RGV. Yes, and I grew up here. So I grew up here, did my externship here, went to school here, and I've been able to serve thousands of patients here in the Rio Grande Valley. Everywhere from Bronzeville all the way to Zapata, Rio Grande City, South Padre Island, Annenberg, McAllen. So it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to helping many more.
Sweet. So where do you work at? Do you work at like outpatient? Do you work at a hospital? What are you doing right now, man?
Yeah, so I did mobile X-rays for almost 7 years, and then an opportunity came knocking at my door to be an instructor.
Wow.
So I hadn't been planning on it, but it was just a good opportunity, and the timing was right, and everything just kind of lined up, and I want to push myself to the limit, and this was an opportunity to do something within the field, but in a different aspect.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I jumped on that. So currently I'm an instructor. Yeah.
like you're teaching like students? You teach at a college, or is
Yeah,
it like a community college, or is it like a private school?
great
What
question.
kind of
So it's a private school, a college.
nice?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and currently I teach a limited scope. So I'm a full RT. You know, I have an associate's degree, but
Hmm.
here in Texas we have a limited scope, LMRT, which they still perform X-rays and everything like that. So right now my focus is mostly just the X-ray and the diagnostic part. So yeah,
Nice.
that's what I do.
So how long were you doing that for? The
Yeah.
teaching?
So now I've been an instructor for over 4 years now. Over 4 years
Wow,
now.
it's been
Yeah.
a while. It's been a
It's been a
while.
while.
So how do you like that? Was it hard to go into that teaching mode? Like, were you like trying to remember all the things you did? Because I know for me, like, if I have to go back and look at like, oh, how do I do these physics and parameters? It would take me a minute. Like, I don't think I would remember everything right away. So that it would seem like I would be a little nervous about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see it. I could see it. So again, it was a test to myself. Hey, how much do I know, and can I do this? Right. So, um, and really, if you think about it in the field, you're constantly getting questions anyway. Like your patients have questions. You know, staff has questions. You know, hey, so how do you even create the X-rays, or what are you doing, or how do you do that? So I was already answering a lot of this anyway, and I was also training other techs on the job anyway. So the transition for me was kind of easy. So
Nice.
when I'm training the techs, you know, they've already had, you know, what they were taught. So it was kind of difficult sometimes because I had to reteach them a few things, especially because I was doing mobile,
Uh-huh.
and mobile it's a little different. Um, so it wasn't always that easy because it was like, I know that's what you get taught, but this is how we got to do it. So now that I teach them from students at the very beginning, it's a little bit easier because it's you know, it's blank canvas, and I
Mhm.
get to help them from the very beginning, and now they get to go out there and become their own technologists and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it did, you know, I had to go back and look over a few things like the physics a little
Mhm.
bit, but I dedicated myself and said, you know, I could do this, and
Nice.
so it
Yeah.
was fun too. You know, it was fun to going back and reviewing some of this stuff. So
Yeah, so like you teach them how to do x-rays,
yeah,
and do you also teach them like the book part? Like, so you're doing like everything pretty much? Are you on that journey pretty much the whole
yeah,
way? Or
pretty
wow,
much the whole way. Yeah. So
that's that's impressive, man. That's hard.
thanks.
Yeah, that's good. I give it like my hat goes off to you, man. That ain't easy. Like to be having, you're already doing x-ray for so many years and then going back, it's like going back to school basically, right? You're relearning, so that probably makes you a better tech, right? If you're teaching someone something, like it's different from you just doing it and then you having to explain how to do it, because not everybody can do that. And I know you got to have a lot of patience.
Yes.
People making the same mistakes, or you're like, man, I told you this 5 times and you're like the same. I know that's hard. Not a lot of people are good trainers. I can tell you, some people are really good at scanning and
Right.
doing x-ray, but they just cannot train, because a lot of the times people in our field, a lot of them aren't really social. They don't like to talk very much, and there's really good techs out there that they just hate training. So but that's cool. Like
Yeah.
that's something that I would want to do, but I like you said, it would be a challenge, and you would have to like going up to that college and being, yeah, I'm the guy, this is me, I know how to do it, and actually following through, because I'm sure they watched you for a while, right? When you
Right.
um your first day of class or you're teaching, I'm sure there's some other people watching you, right? Like some administrator
Yeah.
just like, all right, can you do it? Or it's not only that
Yeah.
you also have to be able to talk in front of everybody, right? And people are raising their hands, throwing a bunch of questions at you for sure, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
cool, man. I never really met, or I mean, I had my instructors, but I never, outside of, work and school, I never had a friend or somebody I can talk to who's an actual teacher. I've always
Yeah.
wondered how that was like. So you like it, and could you see yourself doing this, for a while, or
That's a great
continue?
question.
Or?
Like
Yeah.
even the fact that I'm 4 years now, that's really hard for me to believe myself. But the time goes by fast when you enjoy what you're doing. So the fact that it's still radiology and I'm still hands-on and I'm still in there,
You are.
that's what makes it fun. But yeah, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I don't like to be in the comfort zone. So when
Right.
I was doing mobile, I was really good at it, and I was just getting better, getting better. I felt like I reached my peak, and it became a little bit like there wasn't. I mean, mobile is challenging. Don't get me wrong; it is very challenging. But I just felt, okay, I'm ready for more challenges. And when the opportunity came knocking, it was like, yeah, I wasn't always the best speaker in person, so that's something I wanted to work on. Um, I knew I was good, so I knew like I could teach some of this to people so they could do it too and get better too. So I kind of felt obligated, like, you know what, teach what you know, right? Show others what you know, and we could get more better techs out there. So it kind of became a mission kind of deal. So you kind of get over all those things because now you have a reason to do it. And I did the math. On a good day, I can maybe help 20 or 30 patients, right? But if I could train somebody and then they're going out there and doing x-rays and helping people, if I could help 5 people become techs, those 5 techs are going to go out there and help 20, 30 people, right? So now it just multiplies. So, I could help more people doing this. So
Yeah, that's
all my
huge.
fears, all those stuff just went out the door, and I just focused. So yeah, just maybe in the long run,
Awesome.
think about it.
Yeah, that for sure. That's huge. I mean, I remember all of my teachers that along the way for, MRI, and even before when I did phlebotomy, I had a really good teacher that was an X-ray tech. He was an X-ray. He did a couple things. He was an X-ray tech, phlebotomist. Like he had those licenses, so he would teach us, and he was really good. He was good. So yeah, mobile X-ray. So you're talking about like basically rolling up to someone's house with an X-ray. That's crazy. So how many of those did you do a day? Like how many mobile X-rays could you do in a day?
That's a great question. So it depends. Earlier we were talking about Texas, right? And the area that I live in. So we're not the biggest cities, the biggest areas. So, we don't have traffic like in Houston or San Antonio. So you can get around pretty good. So it really depends on how far out your patients are. So in one day you're doing more driving than x-rays. Other days you're doing more x-rays than driving. So yeah, on average, I would say about double digits, 20 a day.
That's pretty
average.
good, man.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Mobile. I mean, you got to go into people's houses, huh?
Yeah.
So that's like you never know what they're gonna have in their house, how clean it is, or if they got animals, or if they're weird, or you you never know. I mean, it's Texas. They probably got guns everywhere. I don't know what they do with it.
All of the above. All that. Yeah.
You never know. You roll up to a house and it looks like the Addams family house, and you're like, I don't even know if anyone lives here. And it's like, come on in,
Yeah.
Drink this water right here. What's this? Like,
yeah.
You're like, no, man.
If it's not closed, I ain't drinking.
Yeah.
I gotta open it myself.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't think I've known any mobile techs either. That's cool. A lot of people were like, man, I wish I can be a mobile tech, because it's cool because you're kind of like your own boss, right? I mean, you have a list of things to do. You're on the road, which is cool. I kind of like driving, and I like listening to like podcasts and stuff, and I like kind of being my own boss. I feel like I'm a good team member, but I can also be like that lone wolf out there, because I know it's just me, like I used to like skateboarding is not really a team sport, and it's just like it's all on you, you know what I mean? So no, you can't blame anybody. And right now I work in as a team in a facility. There's like 3 MRI techs, 2 machines, so people are pointing fingers everywhere. It's your fault, we're behind, and this and that, or who left yesterday, left it like this. So when you're mobile, it seems like it's all on you. I mean, you can't be like, oh, like it's you got it. And then it's awesome, man. You're on the road. It seems pretty chill. No mobile MRI yet. So
not yet.
Not yet.
It's gonna happen. And when it does, I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. The technology nowadays and there's people who need it. really. There, there's several reasons why we do exams mobile, but there's definitely some patients that need it, that do require it. It could be something as simple as transportation; they don't have it.
That's right.
Right. It could be that simple, or it could be their conditions. It's tougher to get up and get out. So it'd be easier just to go to them. So
that's definitely true.
Whenever that happens, so they're very appreciative of it. The patients.
That's great.
They find it very, very convenient. They really do. So
yeah. So I want to talk about like on this podcast that you had. It was with a company or a podcaster named Radcast, right? Radcast. Very interesting. You did it like a year ago, and I'll show you guys. You guys got to go to your X-Ray Tech YouTube channel, and you guys should definitely hear this. And yeah, talk about this because this is very interesting, and I like the way you think because we think the same. And you're talking about the role of social media, in radiology and how it's growing, and not a lot of people are doing it now. And tell them about this Radcast too, because this is crazy. Like you can get like CE credits listening to podcasts, which I like to do. Yeah, tell them about it.
Absolutely. So, and thank you for giving me that credit and shout out, because I kind of put myself out there with this one. And I got to thank Cheryl Turner for the opportunity. It was my very first podcast. Again, I wasn't the most social guy, not the best speaker, but it's something, I've been wanting to work on. But she invited me over to her podcast, which is Radcast. She created this. You could actually listen into these podcast episodes, which range from like 30 minutes to an hour. And you could actually answer some questions and get continuing education credits, which was awesome. I loved the idea. And a year ago, podcasts were on the rise, so this was kind of at the peak of all this. So, one thing that I had wanted to put out there was, there's no stopping people from getting on social media. It was just getting advanced. Everybody was pulling out their phones any minute that they could to check their social media. But what exactly were they watching? Was it just something funny or something, sad, or, some bad news, So it was just like, what if we use social media to actually like educate people more, or, create more awareness and more specifically about our field. Because a lot of people don't really know about our field and what we actually do. And we were not getting really a lot of credit for being the eyes of medicine, and that includes all modalities, MRI, X-ray, CT, all that. We play a major part in healthcare. So it was like, maybe we could combine the two, education with social media, and social media is just getting better and more people are using it and being more aware of it. So, what if we just provided more content or highlighted people who were actually using it for good? And so she gave me this opportunity, and I went on there, and
it's pretty cool.
And now look where it's at now. There's MRI Man, right? Doing your thing, man. You're doing some awesome stuff.
Really. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You're doing some cool stuff too, man. I mean, you just got to shed some light on it and let people know that it's here. I mean, people know I only went to school for just MRI, so I don't know a whole lot about X-ray. So that's why I wanted to get an X-ray tech on here. Yeah. And I saw your channel and I was like, man, this channel is amazing. Like, why doesn't anybody know about this? Like, so just in time, I mean, I know you do a lot of things, but you do have your website. You're a teacher, you're an instructor. So it's like, people, if any of you guys have questions, you go to his yourxraytech.com, go to his YouTube, and we were talking about doing some live videos too, so we can, we got Jason right here can answer all your questions like that. Easy. It's what he does. So that's awesome. You guys I'm very lucky to have somebody, like Jason, just being willing to just go ahead and answer questions and help you with whatever. It looks like on your website, you had like some ART, something like prep strategies for clinical situations, but you have like an ART thing going on too. Yeah, exam prep. You have that?
Yes.
Wow.
So I kind of start, like, really it all began with patients, right? Like providing information to patients was the
Mm-hmm.
whole deal. So I started with the Facebook, and that was the only reason why I was on Facebook. It was just
Mm-hmm.
get content out. So again, I was just dabbing with it, learning as I go.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started seeing, okay, well, this could transfer to techs. And then now that I'm instructor, well, this could also transfer to students. So, as I'm going, I'm providing a little bit of everything. So our field is not easy, right?
Nope.
X-ray or MRI. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people think it is. Oh, you just push buttons and all right, that's what it looks like. Then I'm probably doing a good job, right? So,
Yeah.
um, so to help individuals get through their programs or reach the goal of where they want to be, um, now I'm providing that kind of information. Let me help you with your state exams and things like that, because I've been through that and I know it's not easy. And I think there's a lot of people that underestimate the tests, the state exams, and so either underestimate or just aren't as prepared as they thought they would be. So now I'm providing information for that as well. So I'd love to help you reach your goal and to get to the career that you would like to get to, and so you could help people.
Nice. Yeah, that's great, man. So what else do you do? Do you do seminars at like colleges and stuff like that? You've actually talked at some college seminars, which is pretty cool, man. That's awesome. How was that?
Yeah, that was cool. I gotta give a big thank you to MTMI for giving me the opportunity. So this was February 2020, the beginning. That was the goal. Go out there, reach more schools, reach more people, provide more information. But of
Wow.
course, pandemic hit, right?
Hmm.
So I had to just pivot and do some shifts. So I figured, okay, well, if I can't get to them, maybe I'll just do it online more. And man, it probably worked out even better because now I could be or reach more people this way. So yeah, I'm still gonna do that. That's still the goal. It's
Uh-huh.
just now it's doing it this way. So
Yeah. That's cool. I've always thought about that, just going and speaking in front of people about an MRI. Maybe people that don't know about it or are interested in becoming an MRI tech,
right.
especially like at a high school or something. Because I know
Yeah.
when I was in high school and even elementary, we had professionals come, like nurses, people from like the army, a police officer, a firefighter, like come in and talk about their job or whatever. So I'm like, I would want to do that. You know what I mean? Just to plant that seed, because I already tell my kids, I have like a 9-year-old, 7-year-old, I already tell them about MRI, X-ray. I tell them all about all that stuff. I'm like, hey, look, this is something you could do, and I show them pictures. And sometimes even when I scan like high school kids that come in from playing soccer and their knee, I'll talk to them like, hey, look, this is how I went to school, I did this, and kind of like pass information to them. And then some of them are like, oh, I want to be a nurse or something. I'm like, well, there's other things. You don't just have to be a nurse. I thought I wanted to be a nurse too, but it wasn't for me. And
Right.
much respect to them. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't going to just do it for the money, because it is a good paying job and there's a lot of jobs, but I didn't want to just get in to it for that. And just like a lot of people I see now too, they get into radiology kind of just for the money, and
Right.
just because it's like, I can go to school, do this. And I tell them, man, make sure it's something you like, make sure you're interested. So like, what are your tips for somebody out there that is like kind of on the fence, is like, oh, I don't know if I want to be an X-ray tech, I don't know if I want to be in radiology. Well, like, what would be your advice? What would you tell that person?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's a big decision because you're gonna have to sacrifice time, energy, effort. So do some research, dig in a little bit, and get ready. Get ready because most programs are about 15 months to 2 years, right? And this is a big part of your life. So the first thing is make the decision. Like, do you really want it, or are you still on the ropes with it? And if you do want it, is it because you want it, or is it because somebody is suggesting that you go that route? So if that's the case, if you're doing it because somebody else kind of recommends it, then good luck, because you probably won't enjoy it, right?
That's true.
But if it's something you do want to do, or you're curious about it, then pursue it. You don't need to know everything about it. But if you know that it's something you want to do, or you can see yourself doing it, then yeah, just pursue it. Jump in. But be ready. It's going to have its challenges. But I think we both will agree that once you overcome those challenges, it's very much worth it. You know?
Nice. So like, when you're an X-ray tech and doing all that, like, did you ever feel like burned out, like, and just question yourself some days, like, dang, why am I doing this? Like, oh, I need to go somewhere else, get a different job, or work somewhere else, or I don't get paid enough and I'm overworked. Do you ever feel like that? Like when you did an X-ray and you're just like, man, what am I doing? Like,
yeah,
you have days like that?
Days. Yeah, you're gonna have your tough days, you know. And that's the thing, because it's physical work, right? We do a lot of hands-on stuff, but it's also mental too, because I mean, you're dealing with other people, and those people have problems.
Oh,
right? And some of them are dropping all their problems on you in like 5 minutes. You know,
wow.
You just said hi. You know, so
wow.
And then you got your own stuff too, back at home, or life.
That's right.
So yeah, there's been times where it's been very a little tough, but you just find your motivation. You find it could be something just like music. Like for me, it's music. Music is my thing. Like that's my go-to. And now it's my wife and my kids, but
yeah,
call them up, just vent a little bit, or hey, what are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Just get you gotta pull away.
That's
You
right.
gotta know when to get away.
Yeah.
And it's okay we're humans. I mean, we're humans. So luckily, again, I'm one who likes challenges, so I smile through challenges, right?
Nice.
Like, yeah, I probably had a tough day today, but you probably can't really tell, because I do what I gotta do.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's how I feel, man. Sometimes I get frustrated, or we're really busy and I'm just like, man, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I tell myself like usually two different things. I'm like, well, in this time right now, is this what's going on now that's making me so angry and frustrated, stressed? I'm like, is this gonna matter in like 5 years? Am I even gonna remember this? Is this even? Most of the time, no. It's like, why am I getting stressed over? Oh, we're behind 1 hour. You know what I mean? Like, why am I getting mad? I'm not going to be there forever. My shift ends at a certain time. Yes. And it's not going to matter. Like those little things is not going to matter. Or this patient just got mad and angry, whatever. And, it's irritating, but it's like, is that going to matter in 5 years? It's such a small thing. It's like, is this like the universe is so big and we're so small? And it's like, sometimes I got to step, like you said, I step back, and then sometimes I just tell myself like a random sentence. Like I have this one where it's just like, don't sweat the little, this like random things. I'll keep saying it to myself, like, hey, don't sweat this. It's the little things. Don't sweat the little things. I'll just repeat that in my head, or I'll just say something else random just to kind of calm myself down. Like you said, even like through this whole COVID thing, just people are just, it's getting better, but people were all stressed out. And like you said, they come in the first 30 seconds. Oh, this, my dog died. Oh, and then my leg's broken. Oh, I have this, I have that, this, that. And that's like, can be 20 times a day. And you're just like, geez. Yeah. And then you look at your phone, and then, your wife and your kids are going, oh, the kid's tearing up this is broken. And then like your car breaks down. And then like, you're like, God, manager comes in. Oh, you were late, or you did this, and something's wrong with this guy. And it's like coming from everywhere. And you're just like, man, I'm getting bombed on right now. And then, it's like, it's hard sometimes, man. So that's why I get a lot of, that's why on Instagram, my page it's a lot of joking around on there just to relieve that stress. Cause I thought it was just me. I'm like, man, I thought I'm the only one that gets mad sometimes or it's frustrated. I thought it was just me. And then everyone's like, oh my God, it's the same thing over here. patients are late all the time and this and that. So now we just laugh at it. Like when patients show up late or they're like they've been waiting for an hour and they take off, they go to the bathroom for 20 minutes. We just laugh at that stuff and we're like, this is just what it is, man. I mean, what are we gonna do? You know, and it's busy. It's so good that it's busy. It's like job security, right? I'm like, that's good. They could be sending us home. So it's at the end of the day, I love my job. It's just, you know, it's just like everyone tells me, they're like, hey, is it hard, your job? Yeah, it could be some days. It can be stressful, but then other days can be, you know, easy going. It doesn't even feel like I'm scanning anymore. It's just something I'm doing, like riding a bike or something. It's just going smoothly. We're talking about random stuff, and then next thing you know, you're done. But other days, we're just getting smashed, hit with a hammer all day. But it's cool. It's worth it. But yeah, man. Like, what would you say was your favorite part of being X-ray tech?
Favorite part? Okay, that's a great question. So let me think about that one a little bit. So favorite part, there's quite a bit. You know, working with people and helping people.
Those would,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm doing something that has like a purpose,
right?
And a big purpose. You know. So and you know, one of the things that I enjoy is that, you know, those images, I'm creating those images. You know, those images are originals. Those are mine.
That's right. Wow.
So
got deep there.
Yeah, and when you get a good image and that image actually helps that person, you know, how can you not feel good about that? You know,
it could have saved their life, literally. Wow, I never thought about that. Yeah, that's your image. You created that image. You could have done a bad job on that image, but you could have not finished that image, and that patient could have went away. Just like I tell people several times, I'm like, there's so many patients I could have easily turned away, been like, oh, they didn't want to do it, I let them go. But you got to talk them into it. Just like those kids, like you got to scan those kids and you got to X-ray them. I hear an X-ray all the time. They're crying all the time, but they get it done and they do it. They can easily be like, nah, we can't do your kid, you know, just like pushing them away. But there's a lot of effort going in to get somebody to do certain scans, you know, the arthrograms and other procedures. It can't be easy all the time. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's literally your image, and that's going to be there for a long time, at least 10 years, right? I mean, they keep the images a long time, and that's wow. Yeah, that's pretty deep, man. I love that too, man. That's great. Like, you know, you're part of the community, you're helping the community, everyone respects you, treats you good. As to like other jobs that I've had before where they just run me over, like working at Target or pushing carts, or if I'm a dishwasher, no one cares. But it's like you build yourself up and you become this, you know, part of the community. It's huge. And definitely people, you know, respect you. I respect you too, because I know, you know, it ain't easy all the time and somebody's got to do it. And I know, like, hearing people's problems and they're sick and they're hurt, it could be hard, you know, to deal with these patients, and not everyone can do it. You know what I mean? But it's something we get used to and we know how to deal with it. But yeah, man.
And that's what makes it special, because we, you know, thank you all the doctors, thank you all the nurses, right? And a lot of times we go under the radar, a lot of times, right? But yet that doctor was able to make the diagnosis because you provided those images. Right.
That's right.
So, and a lot of times, you know, everybody's getting the thank yous except for you. And you know, sometimes you feel a little underappreciated, but you know what? It's all good, because if you feel good and you know what you did,
exactly,
you know, if you get a little pat in the back, cool, right? Every now and then, sure. But yeah, I just kind of learned not to expect too much. But when you generally just do things, the rewards will come by themselves. You know,
that's right.
They'll come. So you just, you know, just hang on to those, and you know, going back to like regular jobs, you might not even get that period. You know, you might not even get that at all at the end of a tough week. So at least here you do every now and then. You know, patients are usually appreciative. You know, thank you, hey, thanks, and especially the kids. The kids, you know, they're not the easiest to work with, but
oh no.
Sometimes they look at you like you're Superman or you're a superhero, and it's like, yeah, that's worth it right there. Sometimes it's like, okay, cool, see you, little man. We'll see you, man.
Or when they come back and for a follow up and they're all better, pretty much. They're just like checking up. You're like, yes, good job. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Good feeling.
Feeling. Yeah, man. So, you know, we're going on 36, but yeah, this is a question that I like to ask everybody.
Sure.
Well, this is only second. You're the second guest, but I asked the last guy. So how has X-ray changed your life?
Okay,
Deep
that's a great question. Yeah, so knowing that I wanted to do it from the 7th grade, it gave me a target, and so you're a kid, you do things. Not everything you do is the right thing or a smart thing, but at least this kept me on a path, to not do anything too stupid. So it kind of changed my life in that way too, you know. Um, Making sure I get to this goal that I set for myself this early on. And then from there, it was just, learning, right? So join the program and making sure I get through this program. So I've become a better learner, because I put myself in this situation where, this is what I want to do one day. So it changed my life that way as well. So now I'm able to create websites, do social media, and all this other stuff because I'm open to learning. So and I'm okay with making mistakes too. So it's just taking everything that I've gone through and experienced and want to get to, and just trying to make a better life for myself and for those around me and things like that. So and then wanting to continue to be in this field, so I do whatever I have to do to be better. So you look behind me, I have a bookshelf full of books, right? So now I'm constantly trying to learn more. What else can I do? How, what other areas can I learn about? So MRI is one of those ones that I haven't even scratched the surface. There's so much stuff I would love to learn about MRI. So yeah,
Still
just
got time.
yeah.
You got time. You got a lot of time.
Got a lot of time. So yeah, it just kind of I have something to focus on, right? I got things that I would love to learn and get better at. So my life's going that way.
Nice.
It's going that way. So it's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a good field. Radiology, there's just so much opportunities in it. I mean, I can't even really, explain, but you just never know where you're going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, 15 years. Yeah. So
it's amazing. Well, I see what you're doing. You're on the way to on a next level stuff with your website, ART prep. You got the podcast on there. You got the membership. You got all kind of live strategies coming up, clinical situations. You got the merch going. Pretty awesome. This is just influencing me to do stuff like this. This is awesome. I like this skull shirt. I'm probably gonna cop that. Awesome, man. I mean, dude, you're on the way to doing something very special. I get a good vibe from you. And I wouldn't just put anybody on this on my show because it's my show special. It's special to me. It's like a baby, and I just get a good vibe from you, man. I just watch your videos and I just get a good vibe, and I get the same vibe that I got from your videos. Just like we're talking here, you're the same person. So I can tell that you're generally just a good person, dude. And the fact that you're willing to spread your knowledge out and just give out these keys and very easygoing, super chill. That's amazing, man. I'm kind of the same way. You're a family man, right? You got your kid, you're married. Yeah. So what do you have what's your family like? You got boys, you got girls?
Yeah, so I got my wife. We've been together since man, she's been with me, man, the whole time. She's been through this whole journey with me. So I give her a lot of props.
Wow.
So, we went to the same high school, but we didn't get together till right after high school. We both started college. She went into medical assisting, and then I went into X-ray. So, yeah, we've been through it. I mean,
from the beginning.
So
started from the bottom.
Yeah, and she's been supporting me throughout the whole thing. So I give her a lot of love and respect, and she knows X-rays too. Because it's a big part of our life. She was the manager for the mobile company that I worked for.
Wow.
I was able to get her.
Well, you guys kind of work together then?
We did. And
wow.
And in fact, when we had our firstborn, at the office, they had some places there for my daughter.
No
who would
way.
hang out with us at work.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so she grew up around X-Ray too.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So we're all in. We're all in. Like,
man, that's cool. You're like myself. I mean, I've been with my wife a long time. It's over 10 years.
Wow.
We both went to school together. I did medical assistant, phlebotomy, same thing. Went back, had my first kid, and then a couple years later had my second kid. Went back for MRI. She's doing MRI now. Now we basically work together. We work for the same company.
Cool.
We don't work together every day. Sometimes like two times a week or something. But yeah, we're like the same. We're very similar, man.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, it's weird. Yeah, you share things in common. That's crazy, man. And I like your goal. I mean, you're basically like an entrepreneur at this point. I mean, this is cool, man. You're building your brand. I like it. Everybody, once again, yourxraytech.com. Go to his website right now. Check it out. Sub to his channel. Look out for another interview. I'm gonna be on his channel. You guys got to check that out, and we will be definitely working together, doing lives, doing a bunch of stuff. Thanks again, Jason. We're gonna do it again.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Thank you again, bro.
Thank you,
everyone. Shout out Texas.